Welcome to the Once Upon an Island podcast. My name is Wesley and I am your host. And today I'm joined by my co-host,
Mary.
Remember last time when you got promoted from guest to co-host?
Mm-hmm. It was a momentous day.
It was. It was a day where we celebrated with tall ladders and breadfruit. We built a large ladder and we got some breadfruit off a tree. That's how we celebrated that day.
Oh, yeah. I completely forgot about that.
Can I just say that ladder is ridiculous?
Yes. You can say that.
Angelina from David vs. Goliath would be very jealous. She climbed 100 feet to get that idol that Mike White, drunk actually, I think got for her. Or was it Nick? I forgot. Or she couldn't find it. Mike White found it for her. Anyways, Tony and Angelina, I know they're both married, but maybe in another life they were meant to be.
I don't know, because he had to climb like 1,000 feet to get to the bread.
He definitely, Tony was very reasonable. He's like, my ladder's only 20 feet. Angelina's like, I climbed like 50 feet or 100 feet. I forgot how many feet she said. It got to a point where it was memed so much, I forgot what the real height was that she said. But it was a lot of feet. It was like 50 and it wasn't. It was like 10. Anyways, so that was a good episode that we just watched.
Was that your favorite moment from the episode?
From this
Tony's
episode?
ladder?
No, my favorite one-liner though is when Ethan told Rob, "You sucked." He's like, "You sucked today," and Rob's like, "Yeah." Oh man! So the episode just finished like 3 minutes ago, so we're still processing it. But overall, it was a good episode. I think there was a lot more Edge of Extinction in this episode than I was wanting personally. I think it took up like 5 minutes of screen time, and I was really hoping after last week they would tone it down a little bit, but they did not.
Well, at least it's still affecting the game, though.
Yeah. Okay, so there's I'm going to fill you in on something. You ready for this one?
Sure.
People don't like Edge of Extinction.
Okay.
Shocker, I know. But mostly, people don't like that it's affecting the game because they think once you're voted out, you should be voted out, and that's it. And you shouldn't be affecting the game, even if there is an Edge of Extinction. So I think there's two sides to that debate. I'm on the side of I think they shouldn't be affecting the game, and I don't want to see very much of them. But I think you're on the other side. I think you like that they can do something.
I'm on the side of interesting TV, and this is interesting TV.
Interesting TV would be not showing them. All right, that's it. It's Podcast at War. Podcasters at War. Season 2 of our Podcast at War. Let's just talk about who got booted out first. So Danny was voted out. Danny Boatwright. Mm-hmm. A lot of people's preseason picks for winning, not mine. I don't know who I said in our podcast previously. We'll talk about at the end of the podcast who we think has the best chance of winning. But Danny Boatwright went home. What did you think about that? Well,
she did it to herself, really.
I thought when they kept talking about, Danny, I'm like, there's somebody else who's really going home. This is just a cover up. But then the only other name, we went to Tribal, and I was like, wait, have they only talked about Danny? And you're like, no, they talked about Parvati. I'm like, yeah, but Parvati's not going home. Like, is it gonna be Danny? And yep, unanimously, Danny goes home.
I wouldn't have been surprised if it was Ben, but
no, I think it was too late to pull something.
It was a little late to do that
because it said day 6 is the day they did the immunity challenge. You know, even if they're doing it in the morning, they only have they do the challenge, they go back to camp. They only got like half a day to figure out who they're voting out.
Yeah,
I'm not saying they had, but Ben didn't. I don't think put a target on his back until
Tribal.
Yeah, I really feel like it was right before Tribal. And that trial. So if Ben could be a target for Rob now, but we'll see. But yeah, Danny got voted out, and I definitely agree. Based on what we saw on TV, Danny did it to herself. I don't know what she was thinking, telling Rob, "Hey, let's get rid of Parvati." It's like she was watching him, Ethan. She watched the three of them all talk to each other. Like she knows that they're close together. So
yeah,
is she taking crazy pills?
I guess that it's partly their fault for ostracizing her. I don't know, but when you're ostracized, you don't immediately just go around and be like, oh well, no one likes me, I guess I'll just make a fuss. Well,
I think she went to the wrong people if she wanted to get rid of Parvati.
Yeah,
she went to Rob. Like, out of all the people, that was the wrong person to go to. She should have gone to
the young schoolers.
The new schoolers.
Yeah, new schoolers.
The young schoolers. Yeah, the new schoolers is who she should have gone to, apparently. But no. And then even the new schoolers voted to get rid of Danny. They're like, yeah, I guess. Yeah, sure. Why not? We don't know.
Because everyone does what Rob wants, always.
No, I think in this case, Danny had a poor social game. I'm going to say it. She had a poor social game. I did not see a good social game out of Danny last week or this week. the fact that Rob was like, okay, I forgive you last week was more Rob in my opinion than Danny. Danny told him like, Danny, you should never.
No, I think she handled that well.
I think that was mostly because Rob was forgiving. Rob could have still been vengeful. Like, she didn't know.
Yeah, but how else are you going to handle that? Like, you said it. You know it got back to him.
You just don't say it in the first place.
Well, yes, you don't say it in the first place.
Step one,
sure.
Don't be the one to throwing out names. Especially when you don't have a strong alliance yet. Step two, how about you just like, I don't know. I just did not see a social game out of Danny. I'm not saying she didn't talk to people. But based on what we saw on television, Danny's social game was squat. And it makes me... I haven't rewatched Guatemala since it first aired, so I don't really have a good memory of her game. But I remember her game being under the radar. So, anyways, I don't mind that she went, but I think a lot of people will be disappointed because they picked her as their winner pick.
Yeah.
Thinking she was going to slide underneath. And so far, I think... If I think about it, returning seasons, like full-blown returning seasons, we've had 3 where it's all returnees, all-stars, heroes versus villains, game changers. All 3 had women winners. And we voted out 3 women in this season so far and no men. And it's looking like a male's going to win.
Well,
and it's on social game. Like, there's no idols played or anything. What's up?
You don't know that. There's only been 3 votes.
I'm just saying so far, like, they voted out women just been going left and right, and it's just unusual for an all returning season. But I will say that was class. I know I just released the Rob Father video the past, 2.5 weeks ago, and I saw the Rob Father again tonight. I saw him last week. Rob, I don't think Rob's going to win, but Rob's been very impressive with how he's been able to manipulate people to do the things he wants. Everyone should not have opened their bags to try.
Yeah,
Everyone should have told Rob to go jump off a cliff, except for maybe Ethan and Parvati because they're in his alliance.
Yeah.
But no, they should have told Rob, go jump off a cliff. I'm
the only one that stood up to him, Adam. Yeah, I'm sure he's going to get flack from that or backlash, whatever.
Well, Adam's just like, this is just ridiculous.
Like, it was ridiculous. Like,
it was. And I give Rob props for making everyone do something ridiculous at Tribal.
It was funny, though.
Everyone having to open up their bags. Denise was slick. Denise
did a great job.
Yeah, I think Rob was looking at certain people to see if they had an idol. So if Ben had done that same trick that Denise was like holding the idol in her hand with their bag or whatever, if Ben had done that, Adam had done that, I think Rob would have noticed. But because he wasn't looking for Denise, but didn't she give half of her idol to Adam? Mm-hmm. Where was it?
I don't know. They didn't focus on him.
Yeah, but they should focus on Denise a lot. I don't think she had both.
Maybe he gave it back to her right before Tribal.
Did he?
If they did, it didn't show it, obviously.
If they did show it, I don't remember.
I don't know.
Yeah. Anyways, Danny went home. That's fine by me. I thought it was a fun Tribal. I thought the Tony ladder sequence was classic.
That's pretty funny.
Amazing. I hope Tony. I hope Tony, in his effort to not be a target, and it looks like next week it will continue. Instead of Tony looking for idols and playing a crazy game, Tony's just playing crazy and doing crazy things, which is fine by me. Let's do that, Tony, until you make the merge, and then go crazy looking for idols and stuff when people aren't paying as much attention to you. Yeah. If Tony can slip by to the merge, just playing crazy.
It might work.
Yeah, Tyson was funny tonight though with his
Tyson's been kind of keeping a little. I mean, they haven't shown much.
Well, no,
of him,
last week Tyson, they were talking about getting rid of Tyson. We're talking about the Poker Alliance last week.
That's right.
Yeah, that Poker Alliance. Well, not mentioned once, I think, today, except for when Kim went to Sophie with that idol, and Sophie's like, why is she trusting me? She should be trusting Tyson. And I'm like, first I was like, why Tyson? I was like, oh yeah, the Poker Alliance that everyone supposes is a thing because Yule, the brilliant man that Yule is, got everyone convinced there's a Poker Alliance. Well, and there really isn't, that as far as we know, but he convinced people. Yule's smart.
Yeah.
When he put that loop through that breadfruit and brought it down, I'm like, well, I know that later on the show there's a ladder sequence doing the same thing on the same tribe. It's just different approaches to the game. Yule's like, all right, here's the smart way of getting down breadfruit. And Tony's like, okay, I'll get some long bamboo and I'll loosely twine it together. Okay, guys, trust me, guys, trust me. This is how it's supposed to do. Okay. Just put it up in the tree. Okay, yeah. No, trust me. It's supposed to twist like that. Yeah. That's how Tony talks. Except for I can't do his accent, but
they both got results.
Tony's great. Yule's great. I'm totally on board. Sarah doing Cops R Us. I I can't fully tell if she's committed to Cops R Us yet.
I wonder if the way they talked, it almost seemed like they continue the relationship outside the game. So hopefully
Like
by now she
trust,
really,
maybe?
really does actually know him well, and they really can work together.
Yeah, they were on Game Changers, but Tony went home second, so there was like no time to even see if. I don't even know if they're on same.
I like them working.
Forgive me, I forget. I'll have to look it up real quick. But I forget whether Sarah voted out Tony, and I don't think she did, because I don't remember her being on Sandra's tribe, which Sandra voted out Tony. I'm looking now, but yeah.
No, I think it's good that they're working together. I like both of them, and she's a little more subtle, but I think they work well together. Anyway, so I'm excited to see that.
Yeah, I think it was a good second episode. I really did miss though how last week I found out after the episode that was just one episode. I know it's 2 hours and 2 people got voted out, but it was 3 days, and it was officially announced that it was one episode. It wasn't 2 episodes back to back. So this week I kind of I'm like, man, I really wish it was 90 minutes because there's just not. It's I mean, it's so crazy how 42 minutes of Survivor just flies by, but other shows 42 minutes you get like it's just crazy. I really wish they had more time. I know we're kind of preaching to the choir here on that one, but I really do wish they had like just like all the deleted scenes that they delete, just put them back in the show and then put the extended cut up on CBS. All the secret scenes, all the deleted scenes, just leave them in the show. They already put music and stuff to them. They're color graded and color corrected and all that. Just put them back in the show. So, I mean, you could have like another 4 minutes of stuff right there, but whatever. Do you see the secret scene last week where Ethan, puked up food like a baby, like a baby mama?
I did see that.
Well, I know you're saying that because I showed it to you.
Probably because you showed it to me.
They don't know that. So anyone who's listening is like, what the heck's he talking about? Last week, Dalton Ross and his recap article, though you could find it on Ethan's on I think Twitter and Instagram because he posted it as well. But yeah, there's a secret scene where Ethan last week showed that he can eat rice, swallow it, and regurgitate it at will. Like a bird. It was pretty.
And Rob was like, "Well, you should never be hungry again." Then.
No, it was pretty great. It was
pretty funny.
It was pretty great. I'm still looking. All right. Yeah, here's the show Survivor, but where's Game Changers? My goodness gracious! I'm trying to find Game Changers. I'm 99% positive Sarah and Tony were not a starting tribe, and she didn't vote him out. But anyways. Yeah, so that was this week's episode was pretty good. I wish there was more time. The water well thing, I don't know. The weakest parts to me were the water well, and then Jeremy bought that advantage. Did he have to use it at this tribal? Because I know he didn't.
No,
he can use it at any tribal.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. Okay, I thought it was just at this tribal, and then it didn't happen, and I'm like, why did we even see him buy it? And then the other things were the finding the idol with Kim was uninteresting. It was like. She talked about finding an idol, and it wasn't really, I don't know, it's just another idol finding sequence. Like, they could have cut that time in half on finding the idol. Though I do think the Denise and Ben one was interesting, because there's 2 people together. Denise found the idol, and then she explained how it was interesting. Or she explained like why she didn't give it to Ben, and it like there was we learned something from that. Whereas I think I learned nothing watching Kim find the idol.
Well,
but it was funny when Tony showed up.
That's what I was going to say.
And the interesting part was her talking to Sophie.
It's possible that people know that she has the idol, so that's good to know.
What I'm saying is her idol hunt was uninteresting.
Sure.
But the moment she finds it, Tony shows up, and her talking to Sophie is interesting. I just think they could have cut down the hunt. The hunt, the whole time is hunting. I'm like, she's going to find an idol,
it was like
obviously.
a minute. Okay.
Okay. Sometimes when I'm over here saying the show's not long enough, and they're putting idol hunts in there, like cut down the hunt. Just show us that she found the stupid idol. Anyways, that's just my little mini rant about how they could edit the show.
Yeah, I'm still wondering why she gave the other half to Sophie.
I think she's trying to find someone to get in her corner because Kim seems to feel on the outs. She felt on the outs last week. She seems to still feel on the outs this week. We're getting a lot of personal content.
So maybe she doesn't want to do the Poker Alliance because it isn't a thing. So she's trying to prove. I don't think
it was a thing anyway.
She's trying to prove that it's not a thing by going to Sophie.
I think that's it too, but I don't think it was a thing regardless. Though without DeCall, that's the red tribe, without them going tribal, we can't really know if...
Right.
You know, they went once, but we can't really know until they go again whether people are going to target this Poker Alliance. It may have just been like a first tribal council thing for them.
What I noticed about last week's episode was the first vote with Natalie. It was like, how many names got thrown out? I don't know. They couldn't decide. It was just like this or this or maybe this because of this reason or this. And it was just like no one could think of a good reason to vote someone out for some reason.
I think so. This was talked about a lot, and I also agree with this sentiment, especially with people who know what they're doing, is that you do not want to be the person to throw the name out there first. You're waiting for somebody else to throw a name out there. So when you have 10 people going, oh, who do you want to vote out? Who do you want to vote out? And then a couple names get thrown. They're like, well, which one do you want? Which one do you want? You know, this week there was none of that. It was, hey, let's get out Danny or Parvati. No one was like scared to throw out a name. But
because people are actually playing the game now.
Well, last week everyone was scared because they don't want to be like targeted for throwing out a name.
Yeah, I understand. I do. But it almost seems like not really fair to Natalie because there was no reason. It was just kind of finally the last name they picked. Amber, I understand that. I totally get that.
Yeah, no, I get Amber. Natalie did, to me, I agree, just because she's in a duo with Jeremy. But Natalie would have been strong in challenges. But we're not there, and we only see, we don't see that much. By the time they got done with their first, last week, by the time they got done with that first immunity challenge, we were like half an hour into the episode. And she was voted out we saw Jeff talk and bequeath everything and talk with his funny accent and throw champagne over their shoulder. It was a great opening. It's just like, but we still had tribal at 42 minutes into the episode, 40 minutes in the episode. We don't get that much time to like really learn why is Natalie going home? Just because everyone seems scared. I mean, maybe the show portrayed it in a much more condensed version where it's just like, they didn't. I mean, that's just who they decided on. There wasn't like a really great reason for it. Besides the fact that she's paired with Jeremy. And then Amber goes because she's paired with Rob. But this week, Danny goes because, well, nobody wants Danny. And nobody's in alliance with Danny.
Well, after that day, no one, I don't think, could trust Danny because she's going around saying, oh, well, he said this. And like, you just know automatically, oh, I'm not going to be able to trust someone who can't keep her mouth shut.
The moment she said that thing in front of Ben. Yeah. With Ethan right there. I think she sealed her fate. And Ethan's like, Ethan's like, do you not know who this is? Danny, do you not watch the show past Guatemala? Like,
I wonder if she really
won
know.
4 seasons. I bet you Danny doesn't really. You know what? I bet you she didn't really, or she wasn't thinking about it. I mean, it's one or the other. It's like you're so honed in talking to Ethan. He's a handsome dude. He's got those entrancing eyes, and you're like, wow, what a cutie. And then you forget about Ben. I mean, it's possible, I guess. But you're a winner. We expect more. Smart. We expect more. Yeah. Let's just put it that way. I expect more from winners. I don't expect like them to forget who's there. Danny didn't seem to have a good reason for saying it in front of Ben. It's not like her and Ben were in an alliance and now they're talking, nothing like that. So, oh, brother.
I was going to say about the challenges. We can go back to the votes in a minute. Yeah. I was going to say at the beginning of the challenge today how it was really cool watching all winners because it seems like everyone...
Well, let's not say today. This might not be uploaded till tomorrow. The episode 2 challenge.
Yes, sorry.
Yeah, I say today episode people might get confused because this might not get uploaded until tomorrow morning.
I was about to say at the beginning of the challenge, it's really cool to watch all winners because like everyone's giving 100% and everything's like always neck and neck and it's really cool to watch. It's fun to watch.
And everything. Yeah. And then Rob blows
it. Rob blows it at the end. But it was
Ethan's
still
like,
good.
You suck today.
Yeah. I don't know why we're blaming Rob. Because Rob took control. I was going to say there's 2 people on the team, but Rob was definitely calling the shots. So
the 2 funniest people this season for sure have been Tony and Ethan. Tony's been funny and Ethan's been funny. Tyson's also funny. I guess 3 people I can think of that just consistently have had funny lines like last week and this week. Tyson, Tony, and Ethan.
Well, I expect Tyson and Tony to be funny. I didn't really know what to expect from Ethan because I didn't watch that. So
no, I'm saying even if you had watched him in, sorry for cutting off, if you had watched him in African All Stars, he wasn't hilarious. Ethan wasn't going around cracking jokes. Oh, okay. I think Ethan is a different person. I mean, we know he's a different person. He's gone through a lot of things, but I'm saying you can visually see that Ethan is a different person than he was those first 2 seasons. Like now he's living life. It's almost like he's playing with house money this time. Like he's going in there. He's just like, I'm just going to have fun.
Gotcha.
It's not, Ethan's not going in there with like, oh no, I need to keep up my legacy. And I don't think Ethan's concerned about that. I think he's just like, I'm going with house money. I shouldn't even be here right now. I survived. I kicked cancer's butt twice, as the Pokemon Ethan song said. By the way, if you guys have not heard that, I edited together a music video from on our hap this week. The Wandoff, there was a song about Ethan, and it was in the theme of the Pokemon theme song. And so I took that song and I added a music video to it. It's on my Instagram, and then Ethan posted it on his with my permission.
Very cool.
Don't worry. No, don't
With
worry.
your permission.
Yeah, I was like, Ethan, I bequeath this video to you to post on your Instagram. No, that's cool, but it's hilarious, and you guys should watch it if you haven't seen it. But no, what was I saying before I plugged my Instagram? Once Upon an Island.
We're talking about the funny people on the show. So far.
Yeah. No, Ethan's been funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ethan, Tony, and Tyson. I think Ethan got it. Ethan was like first half of this episode, you didn't see much of Ethan at all. And then they lose the challenge, and Ethan's just like, he was in every single, I think, except for one conversation we saw the second half of this episode. Like every conversation in regards to strategy we watched on television, Ethan's in it. And I think it says a lot about how much people trust Ethan, that he's able to just be in every conversation that we watched. So I think it's something to pay attention to. The fact that Rob is still Rob is in all winter season, still controlling people, should be telling you a lot. The dude is no joke. I know in Redemption Island, people were like, well, he played with a bunch of idiots, so of course he controlled them all. Rob just had a bunch of winners dump out their bags. Like,
Rob is just no charismatic. Like, he knows how to get people to do what he wants.
It's not only charismatic, it's just like you want to appease Rob. Like last week when Rob's like, well, if you don't tell me the name, like telling Ben, like, you don't tell me who said my name, how can I know if I trust you? It's a very manipulative thing to say, but it works in the moment, and Rob knows how to do it. And I mean, the dude is one of the legends for a reason. There's a reason he's, my personal opinion, he should have won. Well, if he had won All-Stars, he wouldn't have played Redemption Island. So I think he should win All-Stars, but that's a discussion for another day when I do the All-Stars video.
Speaking of which, so Amber, we didn't really talk about Amber getting voted off, but I mean, basically,
yeah,
that was a smart move, not smart move.
I think Amber was a unfortunate victim of her circumstance in terms of, if Rob was not on the season, I think Amber would have been safe.
Yeah,
but because Rob is there, Amber went home. But also, Amber is partially blamed for herself because Rob is on the season and Rob should be gone. Rob's done to 2 tribals with no idols. He should be gone, but he's still there. Not everyone's
the Rob father, though.
It doesn't matter. The Rob father is good, and the Rob father, with his social games, kept himself there. He should be gone right now. How the heck did Natalie and Danny go before Rob and Parvati? You know what I mean? Like, these people that we thought were going to go immediately or almost immediately, they're still there. I mean, don't get me wrong, Parvati was under fire tonight, but by one person voted for her, and it was Danny. Like, what,
I really was hoping that the new players, alliance,
the new schoolers, not the young schoolers.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
I
was hoping the new schoolers would band together to take out Parvati, but
why would you wish that upon anybody?
They just to shake up the game a little bit.
It was well shaken up today when Danny went home, and she does not take up any more screen. Well, she will because edge of extinction. Oh,
why do you think she gave her token to Denise? Because she didn't feel betrayed. I mean, I guess it's something that we just haven't seen.
Because everyone else, Natalie gave her token to Jeremy, which made sense. And then Amber gave her token to Rob. That made sense. There's no questions about why each of them did that. But a great question. Why did she give her token to Denise? We didn't see anything between her and Denise on the show. So it's really hard for us to tell.
Yeah, who knows?
Unless she posts online on social media about why she did it. But on the show, there's just nothing about why. So, yeah, that's the first 2 episodes. I'm really glad that last week was 2 hours and it was really one episode, even though there's 2 tribals. I'm hoping we get another random 2-hour, maybe the merge episode. I don't know. I know they're going to do a back-to-back episode. They do one every season, but I'm hoping for another 2-hour, 1 episode. But we don't know. So far, what do you think about fire tokens?
I think it's interesting. I think it adds a lot more to the game. It's kind of cool that a lot of people think they're just for tarps or for whatever.
Well, that's what Jeremy says.
Yeah.
But I think maybe people view fire tokens as a replacement for rewards. And Jeremy's saying, actually, no, it could be a lot more than
they're
that.
still getting rewards with immunity, so.
Yeah. I mean, you saw unenthused the Survivor Spice Rack. And everyone's like, oh, yeah, Survivor Spice Rack. Oh, yeah.
Well, no, you just saw that when Rob was like, oh, yeah, I got another fire token. I guess I'm going to get a tarp here or whatever. Yeah, right, or whatever.
Yeah, he's just joking.
Yeah. I mean, I guess on the menu, it does say that you can get an immunity idol with your tokens, right?
Yeah, but I think you need a lot of tokens, and who's going to give you all their tokens so you can buy an idol.
Exactly. So.
Yeah, like, I was wondering, like, when are people going to earn tokens? And we're through 6 days of Survivor, 2 episodes in.
I don't know if you ever earn them. I think
you're telling me there's only 20 tokens in this entire game. So what happens when somebody spends them? Do they go back in the circulation? You know, that's what I'm wondering.
We'll find out.
It's okay if there's only 20 tokens. Just like,
well,
how do you earn more?
Jeremy,
like if somebody spends them, how do they get back in the game?
When Jeremy bought the advantage, that token went to Natalie.
Okay,
people on
but what if somebody decides to buy the tarp?
I saw it.
You see what I mean? Like, what if that actually happens because the rain gets really bad out of left field?
Right.
And they're like, you know what, crap, we really should band together and buy tarp. Where does the tokens go? To Extinction Island?
No, we'll find that out, I'm sure.
I
feel like they'll get it back in place somehow.
I get why Sandra bought her idol from Natalie. Natalie got a token. Jeremy bought his thing from Natalie. Natalie got I understand that. But that's player to player. What about player to game, player to producer, whatever you call it? I don't know. So, but I really wish. I understand Edge of Extinction why it's in the season, and I like fire tokens, but I kind of wish there was no Edge of Extinction and there was just fire tokens. Because I just think it's too. I mean, if I was not somebody who paid real good attention to Survivor, it could be confusing. Like, there's just a lot. It's a lot of going on.
It is a lot going on.
It's a lot.
But to be, I was going to say, to be fair, like, every person who's ever watched Survivor is probably going to watch this season.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. People at our church. I'm not going to say their names, but the person who watched Survivor this last week, their parents actually watched it, and they haven't watched it many, many years.
Yes.
So just because Ethan's on. That's really Ethan's on, and Ethan is on the episode on the show. That's why they're watching.
I've just heard other people mention that. Yeah, even if they haven't watched it in a while, they want to watch this season because it's all winners.
I'm hoping that this is a good season for people who haven't watched in a while, and they're like, well, you know what, this show is still good. I'll watch season 41, and then hopefully season 41 isn't botched like Nicaragua was after Heroes vs. Villains. But no, I mean, so far I think season's good. I just think it was a lot of twists. It's just a lot of twists. I think it was one too many twists. I think you'd either do Edge or you do fire tokens. But I do like fire tokens. I like the duplicity.
I just feel like
they
wanted to make it. They wanted to make it big and different because it was Winners of War. So
I know. I think the fire tokens by itself could have been enough.
I don't know.
But whatever. Anyways, I hope they do bring back fire tokens for another season without Edge or without Redemption Island or whatever other twists like that. But yeah, I like fire tokens. I already spoke my piece on Edge. I liked Edge in the season it was in. I know it's not a popular opinion. I liked it for the one season. It's like an experiment. It was a one-time thing, you know, and it happened. And
that was really cool because no one knew about it too. So
yeah. I get it. And I heard Jeff Probst in an interview, like, because people are like, well, they could do Edge or something like that, and just don't have the people come back at the end of the game. And Jeff explained recently in an interview, I think it was with Rob, where he said, Rob Cesternino, where he said they want whatever the theme of the season is, they always want it to pay off in the finale, like a story. And then Rob Cesternino on his podcast said, well, I don't think anybody actually thinks of Survivor as a story. And I'm like, Rob, are you trying to offend me right now? Rob, this is my entire channel, Rob. And I almost sent Rob angry messages over Instagram because if you know me, I'm very vengeful and I do not let things go, and I will hold on to this till. No, I didn't really. I for like a second I was like, so he really hasn't heard of me, even though Mike Bloom said on a Rob has a podcast. Well, that's a mouthful. Once Upon an Island, and talked about me. Maybe Rob wasn't paying attention. No, it's okay. But I think maybe I don't think the casual person thinks about Survivor like a story. And I think that's, to be fair, until I want to say until Dave versus Goliath, when I really started paying attention, I didn't think of Survivor as a story either. So I get it. I just thought Rob Cesternino saw it as a story, and Jeff's just saying. I get it. Anyways, my whole point is, let's come up with like a Dave versus Goliath. That to me is more of a story. If you really want to tell Survivor like a story, like Jeff said, let's pick something that tells a story. Edge of Extinction doesn't tell a story. It's just.
So do you have an idea?
Well, no, not top of my head. I also am not paid by CBS to make Survivor. True. I come up with plenty of story ideas if we wanted to do that. And we could do a whole podcast later about story ideas. I think it's actually a fun idea top of my head now that I've said it out loud. But
now that you said it out loud?
I'm sorry, you said it out loud and then I concurred. Like David versus Goliath, like naturally lends itself to telling a story.
Mm-hmm.
It's fortunate that a David won, because if a Goliath had won, I don't think it would have been kind of anticlimactic. They kind of set themselves up for failure if one half, somebody from the other half of the, anyway. So, yeah. So let's talk about, so we've talked about the twists. The word bequeath. Do you like it? Do you not like it? It was a big source of talking this past week.
Of course I like the word bequeath.
A lot of people thought of it as a dirty word.
What?
So Mary, you may not know, has a large vocabulary, reads a lot of books. Bequeath has probably been in quite a few books she's read, I'm sure, at some point in time.
I just read one this afternoon.
See? She's reading one that, oh yeah. But to the average person who does not read as many books as Mary, which is a lot of books, bequeath is not a normal word. People are laughing at it. You know, I think it's, so I get why people are laughing at it, but at the same time, I'm like, oh, cool. We're also expanding our vocabulary.
Yeah. Why use the word give your token when you can say bequeath the token?
I don't know. A lot of people were saying like it could be give. Well, I get like the other words, but I think Survivor is just trying to do something different. And in this case, I'm for it.
It sounds official. It sounds like a contract.
We're bequeathing it.
Yeah.
We're bequeathing. Bequeath. Not bequeath, which I know people are thinking. Do you get it now?
No, I don't.
Click? Okay,
No.
I'll explain it after the podcast.
Okay.
It's okay. You're only like, you're only an adult. You should probably know the word. Anyways, so, no, yeah, bequeath. I like it. What else? Did you like the champagne toast from last week?
It was pretty hilarious.
Yeah,
It
came out of left
Bugged
field.
me that the glasses were just sitting on the beach. That was my first thought, was someone had to go and pick those up.
Yes.
I know, that's just the way I think.
As soon as we've moved on to the next scene in the show, I'm sure somebody had already come through and cleaned up the glasses.
I'm sure.
They're not like, okay, let's go do a challenge. Don't worry about okay, step around the glasses. Okay, all right, don't okay.
No, it was funny. It was surprising. It was different.
My biggest disappointment out of both episodes is that Jeff said 39 days, 20 people, 1 survivor, and he said it just standing on like that little spit of sand. I'm like, Jeff, you stood in like 1,000 better places than this. Like that was such a weak, to me it was like a weak spot. Extinction Island, he did the same. I'm sorry, Edge of Extinction, he did a similar thing. He stood on Extinction Island and said it, but it made sense because that was like the twist of the season. Like that was the place. So I get it, but like this season, you just like standing on some sand. Like Jeff, get on top of a mountain, Jeff.
I mean,
I know he's getting older.
You gotta cut him some slack.
I know they're in Fiji and they're probably running out of places to put Jeff, but I forgot last season where he stood, Island of the Idols, where he stood. Maybe because I try to block that season out of my memory.
Maybe next to the Idols. I don't remember.
That would make sense. You know what? Now I gotta go back and rewatch and check. Anyways, so all right, let's talk about what we're expecting. So I expect Edge of Extinction will come back at the merge, just like season 38. They'll have somebody come back at the merge, and they'll have somebody come back at final 6. As of right now, between the 3 people who are on the island, I know there's more coming. Who would you expect to win the challenge between the 3?
Natalie, between the 3.
Okay, not even close. Okay, all right, so we're on the same page. That's not even a discussion. All right. Yeah, Natalie, I feel like should blow it.
Natalie's got tenacity.
However, if there's like a puzzle, I don't know how great Natalie's at puzzles. Top of my head. I know she's physical, but you get to a puzzle, that's the great equalizer. So Amber is married to Rob, but Rob did blow it tonight. So
just because you're married to someone doesn't mean you magically get their skill set.
I thought through osmosis you could get better at things, but apparently not.
No, it's supposed to be like complement each other, so she could suck at puzzles probably.
Yeah, Rob's like a retired basketball player. He once was great, and now he's like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm gonna organize the pieces, which I'm sure was a great plan if you're like at home putting together a puzzle on your table, you know, like, all right, let's go, these pieces, you know, but like when you're in like, come on, Rob, we got a thing to do. Sandra's kicking your butt right now. Anyways, so let's go with sorry, I'm tripping here. Who, as of right now, we'll go 3 things. Number 1, who is your personal favorite to win? And this is not like who do you think is going to win based on what we've seen. This is who do you want to win as of right now? If anybody's to win the season, who would make you the happiest? Don't give me a look like that. Mine is Ethan.
Well, we've talked about Ethan a lot.
I do like myself some Ethan.
Yes. I would be very happy to see Ethan win.
I'd also be happy with Tyson, but if I had to pick one, I'd pick Ethan.
Yeah, I'd be happy if Tyson won.
Mm-hmm.
Out of the women, I don't really know. I don't want Sandra to win. I don't want Parvati to win.
Did you say you don't want Sandra to win?
I don't want Sandra to win.
Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you don't.
I mean, if she got to the end, then yes, she needs to win because.
Oh, Queen stays queen. She gets to the end. It's game over. Sandra's got this thing.
But
in the bag.
she shouldn't. If they're smart, she shouldn't.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think. I honestly haven't seen much of Yul play, but from what I've seen of him, I'd be happy if he won.
Yul has been very. I. It's been a minute since I've seen Cook Islands. I agree with you though. Yul is he is super intelligent.
Just what I've seen so far of him. Like he's intelligent, he's kind, seems to have good relationships with people. I would be happy with that.
I feel like when it gets whittled down though, people are going to start thinking about okay, who. I think Yul makes the merge by the way. Because of this, but I feel like we get to the merge, people will start looking at okay, who do I want to go to the final 3 with? Because that's when we really start thinking about that more so. Right. And I think people look at Yul and they're like, no.
Do you think people are actually going to take quote unquote scapegoats, or do you think people,
depends on? I mean, in my personal opinion, we just vote 2 scapegoats that I would carry to the end and beat. Exactly. If I were one of them, is Danny and Amber. I think those 2 were, in my personal opinion, you could have taken to the end.
Even Natalie. I mean,
no, I don't think Natalie would have. If she had gotten to the end, I don't think Natalie's a scapegoat. I don't think I'm sorry, not scapegoat. She's just not a goat. I think if anybody, based on the way we were watching people play, I don't think Natalie's a goat, but I think Amber and Danny were goats. But you can disagree. That's fine.
Well, I don't. Not necessarily disagree, but I could see how someone who with a much stronger game like Rob could take Natalie and be fine.
I mean, yeah, if you play obviously play a stronger game than somebody. Like Rob's playing, I think, very aggressive right now. We're only on day 6. I don't think Rob's going to make it.
No.
I think Rob's sent to the...
Shouldn't.
Rob shouldn't. If Rob's tribe can pick up a couple wins, he can slide by to the merge, which I think will impress everybody because everybody thought he was going to be like first, second gone, and here he is. He's tried 2 tribals, no idols. And he's telling people to dump their bags of tribal. People are doing it without question, except for like one person. So I mean,
he did it. He just complained.
Anyways, so all right. So you only pick one personal favorite to win. If this person wins, it makes you the happiest out of everyone. Pick one. Can't pick 3 or 4. Mine's Ethan. You can pick Ethan as well, but mine's Ethan.
I mean, as of right now, sure, Ethan. I like the story about how he survived cancer. That's pretty cool.
You stole all my answers.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so let's pick. All right, so if you were to pick one person just based on what you've seen on TV, who do you think will win? This is not necessarily a personal favorite. Just who do you think will win based on what we've seen in two episodes?
Really difficult so far. I really don't know. I really could not.
There's no one that you think so far is a favorite in your mind. So things to consider when considering this question. It is kind of a bigger question. Who do we see confessionals from? Who do we see talking about their game? Stuff like that. And what's surprising to me is we see like Rob talking about it a lot. Rob's getting a lot of screen time. Of course, I thought Rob was going to be booted tonight because he was talking so much after that tribal loss. I'm like, Rob's going. He's talking a lot. They're getting as much as they can out of him. That wasn't the case. Kim, I think, got a lot of stuff tonight.
That's just because she found the idol, though, I think.
She was still talking about her social game, but tonight was a bit harder of a read than last week. I feel like if I had to put money on somebody, I would put money on Tyson. If I had to put money on somebody, I'd put money on.
His only confessionals tonight were about the ladder, though, weren't they?
That's okay. Well, Tyson's tribe didn't go to tribal, so it's a bit harder to tell when looking at the red tribe to call or whatever. Because Sele or Blue, Sealy, whatever they're called, they had most of the screen time because the second half of the episode is about them going tribal. So it's a little harder to tell. But if I had to put money, I'd put money on Tyson.
I could see that, but I don't know. I was gonna say maybe Yul because
some people have been.
He hasn't had a lot of confessionals or anything.
And we keep seeing Yul. That is a good one as well. People I'm concerned about right now are Nick. Nick, we haven't seen anything from in 2 episodes.
It's true.
People say purple edit. I'm not gonna say purple edit. Purple edit means you don't get to talk at all. Some people use that in a very
because of Purple Kelly
term. Yeah, Purple Kelly. Yeah, she didn't get a confessional until episode 7. I know we watched that season, but I don't. Episode 7, Mary. Episode 7. Episode 7, Mary. She didn't get a confessional until episode 7. It's ridiculous. All right. All right. So as of right now, and you cannot pick somebody already voted out. Who do you think has the least likely chance of winning this game? Not people who have already been voted out.
Denise.
Mm-hmm. Denise Stapley.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's actually in a decent spot. Like Rob, when Rob was looking for those idols, I think he was looking at Ben and Adam. I don't know if we already discussed this on the microphones, but
yeah,
he was looking at Ben and Adam for the idol, but Denise was like slick. I think Denise is in a good spot. And we keep seeing Denise stuff.
I was just saying that I don't think she has what it takes.
But you're saying out of the
end.
17 remaining people, she's the least likely to win.
Out of the Blue Tribe, because that's who's fresh on my mind,
Mm-hmm.
who's we've seen the most, I'd say Denise, because I would say Sandra too, probably out of the Red Tribe, but only because she doesn't seem to know what to do with the things she's given. Ben helped her find the idol. Mm-hmm. Adam helped her decide what to do with it. Sure, she hid it herself. I don't know. I just wasn't. Out of the whole tribe, she seems to be not the most, I don't know, player. If that makes sense.
Not the most player.
Yes, that's a terrible word
I
choice.
just said earlier in this podcast, you read a lot of books.
Yes, I know. Thank you.
You're okay.
I'm a little tired. But
a little tired, yeah. Well, we were going to do this tomorrow in the morning after, but Mary's like, oh, let's just do it tonight. I'm ready. So we did it right after.
Yes.
No time to process. Processing now as we're talking. But
that's the best way to process.
So I'm debating here. I want to say my least likely to win is between Nick and Parvati. But I don't know, man. There's like something
Nick,
in the
just
back.
because we haven't seen him?
Because we haven't seen really any. Even Michelle, we saw some. I feel like a Nick was invisible tonight, which is not good when you're not good if you're going to be supposedly the winner. But I don't know. There's something in the back of my mind that tells me Rob, if he can get a little alliance, like he has currently him, Parvati, and Ethan, which is not enough. Don't get me wrong. But I feel like Rob and Parvati, if they're going to be a duo, like a tight duo, which it seems like they are, Rob's like, oh, you threw Parvati's name out, throw my name out, you're gone. I mean, that's classic Rob father. Rob, I feel like
Wait, are you saying this?
we all say Rob's not going to win, but there is a likelihood Rob goes
there's
deep.
a good likelihood that he could.
He goes deep. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't think Rob wins, but there's a good likelihood he goes deep. It's just based on what we've seen so far. He still controls people. It's amazing to me. Like, I am thoroughly impressed.
Yeah.
I watched Marquesas and I'm like, here's a guy who's figuring out how to do this thing.
There's a reason he was picked to be the idol in Island of Idols, him and Sandra.
Because him and Jeff have cuddled many times.
Oh, gosh.
I mean, there is a video I watched where Jeff's like, we're like, all right, Jeff, if you were to vote somebody out, who you vote out? And Rob's like, oh, or I'm sorry, Jeff was like, oh, Rob. I mean, I love Rob. I mean, Jeff literally says in the video that he loves Rob. If I was so dedicated,
I love that
yes,
about
he said, I
other
love
people?
Rob.
No, I'm saying he said other players that he has loved.
Quote unquote, he said, I love Rob.
Okay.
It's on Entertainment Weekly.
Okay.
I posted a screenshot of it with the captions.
I remember.
Okay. He loves Rob. Him and Jeff, they probably go on dinner dates together. Amber's like, oh, don't worry, I'll watch the kids. Rob's like, thanks, babe. Thanks, Amber. Anyways, that's my terrible impression of Rob. We're getting a little loopy, but my least likely to win, oh my gosh, hate to say it because I do like Nick, but so far, based on what we've seen so far, I'm going to say Nick. Just based on what we've seen.
Yeah.
And what we haven't seen at the same time. But, yeah.
We shall see.
Yeah. The game plan is we're not going to do another podcast until the merge. So they're like, okay, next week's the merge. That's when we're going to do our podcast. But if for some reason you and I are out of town, which is very possible, we'll do it as soon as possible after the merge. So basically expect our next podcast to be after the merge. Unless for some reason this one blows up and gets like 100,000 views. I'm not going to say no. I'm not going to be like, oh, all right, well, yeah. Anyways, we're getting a little out of it. All right, guys. Well, thank you for tuning in. If you got all the way to the end of this podcast, wonderful. Here's a heads up. I'm working on the Marquesas videos now. If you're on the Patreon, you already see me dropping. I dropped one of them yesterday or 2 days ago, whatever it was. And I got a couple more dropping in the next. I'm going to drop the rest of Marquesas videos by the end of the month at the rate I'm currently going. That might be a little crazy, maybe first week of March. But anyways, all the Marquesas videos will be on Patreon. I'm not planning on actually putting them on YouTube until late March. So if you're waiting for them to show up on YouTube, that's when you expect them. But if you're on the Patreon, expect them soon. All right. Well, that's it for today's podcast. Anything else you want to say before we go?
Thanks for listening.
Oh, yeah. And remember, you sucked today. Thanks, Ethan. All right. Bye, everyone.